going, guys? It's a Bearded One back with another beer review, and we're doing a special exclusive from Yellowhammer Brewing. It is called Spirit Guide. I really love the label on this thing. And that, you know, I've been collecting cans lately, and I'm not trying to go overboard with it. I'm trying to be selective with the breweries that I collect, just because you can find yourself with a room full of cans, you know, very quickly. I'm not trying to be that guy, but you know, I hadn't exactly intended on collecting Yellowhammer, at least right away, and then they came out with Spirit Guide, and I just love this little, the holographic, I don't know if you can see it very well, the label is holographic on top of this purple matte background. It's supposed to look like some sort of like a spiritual label or something. I didn't look up the reasoning behind the marketing, but it looks fantastic. They have a meter on here. They have some facts on here. The fruit factor is, or excuse me, the black cherry is through the roof, and then the excuse me, the black, hold on, cherry blackberry. So it's a cherry blackberry sour. Let's just go ahead and say that. So the cherry, so it's cherry, not black cherry. The cherry is through the roof, and then the blackberry is just a tinge lighter than the cherry. And then they have a quote on the back from Bare Hands. I don't know who Bare Hands is, but it says, "So let's run away, never to be found." Just some artsy quote. Kind of reminds me of the Light Visions collections from Trim Tab. I guess that's all I gotta say. Yellowhammer, for those of you who are not familiar with the brewery, they're out of Huntsville, Alabama. And I am in the midst of an Alabama push here on the video, here on the channel, because I am from Alabama, so I'm trying to support in the middle of all this COVID madness. I'm hoping that supporting my state's beers somehow inspires anybody who might see these videos to review more of their state's beers. So I've never actually seen this beer in person. I bought a 6-pack of this 3 weekends ago. It was the exact day that Governor K.I.V. announced the shelter in place through the 17th, not when she extended it to the 30th. I want to say April 5th, maybe? I'm not sure. But it was a couple weeks ago. Drove around to a couple breweries. I think I mentioned this before in other videos, but this was one of the beers that I picked up in that beer run, I guess. It reminds me a lot of the Cherry Atalanta from Orpheus Brewing that I've already reviewed, I believe. I don't know if I've posted that video. I've put all non-Alabama breweries on hold during this quarantine, just to push more local breweries that I care about. You know, get that information out there on YouTube, that free advertising for those breweries. But however, this does remind me of that Cherry Atalanta I've reviewed from Orpheus. It's got a nice, I like to think of it as like a strawberry Yoplait yogurt color head. It's a very light pink. It dissipated into a, you know, just a thin sheet on the beer. This beer is 5% alcohol, so great time. You know, we're right in the middle of spring. You know, here in the next four to 8 weeks, we'll be getting ready for summer. And so a beer like this, you know, a cherry blackberry sour ale at 5%, it's perfect for this time of year. So we touched on the head. There's no lacing going on. It's leaving some legs. We'll see how the legs hold up over time. Very dark, deep red. You know, it almost looks mahogany. It almost looks like a deep red wood almost. I'm reminded of, you know, like something like that. But it's definitely got a little pink in there. Maybe just a tinge to the purple. Anyways, I like it. It's beautiful. Can't see through it at all, so just hazy all the way. I imagine there's some type of particulate matter in here, maybe even some chunks of sediment, but I can't see anything in here at all. I mean, it's just fruity to the max. That cherry, that blackberry comes together so well. And then I get this staple note, which surprised me when I first had this. So I'm thinking maybe my perceptions about Orpheus are a little bit off. I don't think they're as accurate as I had hoped they were, because I thought this note that I'm getting in this beer was from the vanilla in those Orpheus sours that I've had, the Rainbow Serpent and the Cherry Atalanta. But that same note's in here, and there's no vanilla in here, so there's no way that note that I'm picking up is from the vanilla and that Cherry Atalanta, because it's like dead on the same notes I'm getting. And it's hard to describe, but it's sort of like, it's just a souring note, and it was reminding me of graham cracker crust for some reason. And it still reminds me of that here. I don't know why. It just has like a cinnamon-like, just has a cinnamon-like character to it for some reason. And it floats on the back end of the fruitiness for any of those, this and the two Orpheus sours. Yeah, I'm getting no hop presence. There's tons of sweetness in here that I would imagine comes from the malt, maybe. Maybe there's some kind of adjunct in here as well. I don't know. But overall, it's just a beautiful centerpiece of cherry and blackberry, and then just a surrounding. It's almost like a sugary, vanilla, milky, like sweetness just in the beer. I can't explain it. So the souring really comes into play here. I'm trying to grab everything. I think to me, the blackberry is way more sharp than the cherry. And so the blackberry just cuts in quick, and then it fades away, and then I get cherry. I get like some kind of a faint, delicate maltiness to it. Definitely not a bready beer. But I just feel like it kind of adds a tinge of sweetness, like other sweet, like an accent to the fruit. I can't quite place what it is. Maybe there's vanilla in here. I don't know. They don't disclose that they use vanilla. There's just something I just feel like I'm getting this third note that I can't quite place. And then water is kind of a feature in here that I hadn't noticed in the first 5 cans. I guess I wasn't ever thinking about what I was drinking. And now that I am, I'm noticing water is kind of prevalent here. And with, I said the water was prevalent. It's not prevalent. It's not dominant or anything. But I do notice the water character here, and which is not bad for a sour. But with that water comes, it's completely devoid of carbonation. Wow, I see sediment in here now that my eyes have focused a little bit. The beer's settled down, I guess. Yeah, definitely like fruit sediment floating around in here, like I assumed, with it being so unfiltered. No hop complexity whatsoever. I mean, this thing, 7 IBUs, so if you taste any hops in here, I need to be taking notes from you. Just overall, a very sweet, fruity, sour ale. Like you would expect, reading the label of the can. No surprise here, as advertised. I think this is good, but since I've had 5 cans, I've had time to figure out what to expect from this beer. I'm going to pause that thought. And I'm going to go to recommendations. I think this is a fantastic sour ale for anybody. I think sour fans could like this. Newcomer. I think sour is a really good. I think sour is a really good. What am I trying to say? Introduction to craft beer. Does it showcase what other styles have to offer? No. Sour is a very niche category. There's no other style that resembles sour other than sours. It's either a sour beer or it's not. Because if this wasn't a sour, it would be a fruit ale. I'm sorry, I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. Sorry. Yeah, I think newcomers would like this beer because it's not, the puckering quality is pretty mild. I mean, it is sour. It's pretty mild compared to others. You're not going to be like trying to power through the sourness if that's a turn off for you. And I think the water is there enough to kind of make it accessible for people that aren't used to sours or craft beer in general. And then I think sour enthusiasts will be impressed by what Yellowhammer has to offer. I don't know what my expectations were for this beer. I just know that I wanted to try it when I saw them tweet about it, and I don't regret the purchase. As far as the grade goes, I think I'm going to give this a 3.25 out of 5. B minus beer, but that, you know, it's kind of leaning towards that 8.5. I think I've been spoiled, and I hate to do this. I hate to compare this to other beers, but this isn't really a direct comparison to any beer. I think I've just been spoiled by complex sours now, you know, being a fan of Orpheus. And so I'm pretty sure I know what I like in a sour, and this gets me there. You know, it's definitely trending in that direction. But I think the water I think the water's featured a little more than I prefer, and I don't feel like there's much after the fruit, the cherry and the blackberry. I don't think there's much more. Or maybe I'm perceiving this beer wrong. I don't know. This beer by no means is boring though. It's definitely still a good beer. It's 3.25, leaning towards 3.5. Would buy this beer again. Would drink this beer if offered this beer. There's nothing wrong with this beer. But yeah, that about wraps it up for me. I don't think I have anything else to say about Spirit Guide. Just a really good quality sour from North Alabama for those of you sour heads out there in the area. I don't know the extent of Yellowhammer's distribution. They're one of the bigger breweries in the state, at least in my opinion. I've been to several breweries now. They're one of the bigger microbreweries in the state. So maybe they distribute outside of Alabama. I don't know. That does it for me. Until next time, guys. Spirit Guide, Yellowhammer Brewing, 3.25 out of 5. Until next time, guys. Cheers.